It's wonderful to have such a great crowd here tonight. And I know that some of you are here for some very special reasons involving some very special students. And that's great. So, we'll get started with our meeting and just make yourself comfortable. Hope you're not too crowded. But we'll try to move it along as fast as possible.
Board members, we're very excited tonight to honor our annual Vanguard Award winners. Just so you know, these high school students have each volunteered at least 300 hours outside of the school day to projects benefiting Pasadena and our surrounding communities. So I'm going to call forward Ms. Risha Brown, our Pasadena ISD Communications Specialist, who will start the presentation for you.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Dr. Powell, parents and students. We're here to celebrate the service of our 2017 Pasadena ISD Vanguards. As Dr. Powell said, the Vanguards are Community Service Awards are given to the top 5 students, the top 5 seniors actually, at each of the district's high schools for performing at least 300 hours of community service hours done outside of school activities. I had the privilege of meeting these inspiring individuals, and now I want to give you the opportunity to do the same. Parents of Vanguard students, at the end of the recognition, you are welcome to meet your child down the hallway to the left as you exit out of the boardroom for light refreshments. Now please direct your attention to the screens for our video presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce 30 high school students from throughout Pasadena ISD, taking on the role of a lifetime as Vanguard Community Service honorees. Now meet the Stars of Service.
I really do enjoy volunteering.
It makes a big difference to everyone. You help others while you're finding what's in your heart.
It's really rewarding.
We have fun helping others. Getting to know my community better and working with others, that's what I like to do.
It really opens up your mind. You can experience new things.
For me, it makes me happy to help other people and to know that I can make them feel better.
I fill me with kindness, like helping other people help me.
It makes you feel good inside and others feel good too.
Volunteering is very awesome. I feel like I'm making an impact on the next generation.
I help others. Doing good things.
So I've worked with the Pasadena Animal Shelter. I've also worked with Fairmont Pet Hospital, and I loved working there.
I volunteered at Texas Children's Hospital. I got to perform puppet shows for the kids.
At Glass Slipper Rescue, I fostered the dogs for quite some time. So after that, they find their loving home.
I tutor 1st through 4th graders.
I volunteer as a coach at the Pasadena Soccer League.
My favorite is teaching at Vietnamese school.
Discovery Green, whenever the ice swing opened, I helped manage the backstage.
I volunteered at the Super Bowl, and it was very fun.
ACE, an after-school program at Miller Intermediate. We entertain kids after school so that they can stay out of trouble.
I work at my church.
Working with younger kids, that's cool, my favorite. I volunteered at the Rockets Run. I cheered for the runners, and I passed out food.
I'm one of the leaders who help educate and enlighten kids in searching for their lessons about God.
I help out with the Bronze Eagles. Every summer they have this thing where kids can go and they get to fly up in the air, you know. It's a cool thing for kids.
I've been volunteering since I was a freshman at my church.
We help people in need, like disabled or elderly people that can't do it themselves, and we do it all for free.
I enjoyed going to the food bank with the color garden because we got to work together, and I just love being around them, so it made like the whole process a lot more fun.
I've done some hours at the Pasadena Public Library. I also worked at the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service branch.
At Rick Schneider Middle School for their band night. I take care of the kids, make sure they play safely.
Sometimes kids still have an older brother or somebody to look up to, and I was trying to help my sister and also other kids.
I've done canned good drives to help people that can't afford a lot of food, or just helping hand out care packages to people that really don't have anything no more because of the hurricane.
I got to teach kids how to use a computer, read more, which I know that can help them out in their future careers.
Met a lot of kids that I was their advocate to speak to and mentor them and to be that person, and it impacts you in a greater way
than you would expect.
When I volunteer at the Cleveland Ripley Center, I get to help with the children and like you get to watch them grow. So it's like really meaningful. It's like touches my heart, I guess you could say. I want to work at MD Anderson Cancer Center. That's my main goal right now.
I want to go into psychiatry, so getting into the minds of the children would actually benefit me in my future career.
In the animal shelter, I got to save a dog's life while it was choking. It was a crazy experience, but I got to save the dog's life.
Since I volunteered at the hospital and at the nursing home, I really gained experience with the environment, with the people around me, how to talk to patients, how to talk to residents.
I like to help people, and it makes me feel better as a person.
It's a good way to get out of the things you do and help others. You're actually helping others and giving back to the community. You're not doing things for yourself.
Helping the children that are our future. They're our future, so we're teaching them. We're helping them grow. And in return, they're going to become our future engineers, doctors, everything.
It builds me up as a person, but then it's also helping others.
Whenever you see their smiles and you know that you're making an impact in many ways that you don't think it's possible.
Not only are you helping others, you're helping yourself, you're going also.
Volunteering is going to give me a bigger outlook of what I'm going to get to experience in the future.
Community service and volunteer work is a great way to bring the sense of community back into our world.
I've had a wonderful life, and I'd like to be able to give that chance to someone else.
You're always going to give back something to the community that has raised you, the community that you've been brought up in, and everything makes a difference.
Now Steve Long, will present his students from W High School.
Good evening. It's my privilege to present to you Pasadena ISD 2017 Vanguard Stars of the Community Service Award recipients from Dobie High School. LaSadrian Coleman. LaSadrian loves to volunteer in nursing homes, back to school drives, Sarah's house, and the Ronald McDonald House. She finds volunteering rewarding and believes that it helps build up community. Ty Lee. Ty teaches Vietnamese American students at the Vietnamese Martyr Church. Through his love of giving back to the community, he has found that it has helped him to develop communication skills. Quinn Wynn. Inspired by her parents, Quinn has participated in multiple volunteer efforts, including playing Christmas music at the nursing home for senior citizens. In addition to the Rockets Run at the Toyota Center, she calls volunteering a civic duty. Taylor Wynn. Taylor had a unique opportunity to volunteer at the NFL experience at the George R. Brown during the Super Bowl. He enjoyed meeting people from different parts of Houston and helping to make the event a once-in-a-lifetime experience for patrons. And finally, Kevin Phan. According to the biggest impact he learned through this volunteer work at the Houston Food Bank and at various Pearland recreational events. Please join me in a round of applause for these students and welcome Tim Boyd from Lewis CTHS High School. Thank you.
Jocelyn De Leon. Jocelyn was inspired by her older sisters to volunteer. She regularly gives back through her work with ACE After School, where she serves as a mentor to young teens in the robotics program. She was also responsible for creating several robotic activities for middle school students. Kiara Lopez. As a volunteer at Fairmont Pet Hospital, Kiara had the opportunity to work with veterinarians and vet techs to clean, restrain, and help with medications. Her experience has inspired Kiara to pursue a career in either radiology or animal science after graduation. Rosa Montez. Rosa wasn't able to be with us tonight, but we do want to recognize her tonight. She fosters dogs in and out of her home that had endured traumatic experiences. She ensures they receive proper care until the veterinary clinic can find a forever home. Rosa uses the training she received through her CTHS pathway to adopt and train a dog she rescued. The dog's name is Kashi. Lizette Nairn. Lizette has donated countless hours to entertaining children at Texas Children's Hospital. One Saturday, she even performed a rap song using puppets as a prop to create a fun environment for patients and their families. Jocelyn Ulloa. Jocelyn believes in leaving no dog behind. She gave many dogs a place to stay while caring for them at her home and spent weekends at Petco to help find them a permanent home. She said the best thing about volunteering is seeing the difference you can make in the world. Please join me in a round of applause for these students and welcome Blanca Ruiz from Pasadena High School to the stage.
Alexis Alvarez. Alexis recently became a certified tax preparer at the University of Catholic Church, the Pasadena Police Department, where she participated in a food drive and at Pesabala as an officer worker. She was inspired by her uncles to volunteer because they paved the way for her to do the same. In the City of Pasadena Soccer League as a co-coach. She also takes part in ESL Saturday tutorials at Sophomore Intermediate, where she helps students learn how to read and write English. Angelica Carroll. Was Operation Thank You, hosted through the Pasadena Chamber of Commerce. Through this program, she served as a person in charge and helped gather location information for over 600 chamber members. She spent the weekend going out to the businesses to express appreciation on behalf of the chamber. Maria Flores. When Maria is not reading books, you can catch her volunteering. She serves as a tutor and mentor for ACE after school and CIS communities and schools. She also participates in face painting at health fairs and spring festivals. Samantha Muniz. Samantha volunteers with her church. She teaches children interested in doing their first communion. She has also distributed food during the Thanksgiving holidays for the less fortunate. Please join me in a round of applause for these students and welcome Marisa Garcia from Pasadena High School.
Good evening. First up, we have Xavier Orozco. Xavier has been involved with various actions in National Hunger Action Month. He also participated in the 2014 Pasadena ISD Police Department Toy Drive. Joshua Palmer. Encouraged him to volunteer at the animal shelter. He believes that every animal deserves to be part of a family and has spent countless hours to ensure that no dog feels abandoned. Anthony Pham. Born in Vietnam, with poverty and scarce medical resources, Anthony's sister suffered from an allergic reaction that permanently damaged the left side of her brain. This inspired Anthony to fight to spread aid throughout the Vietnamese community so others would not have to deal with the same struggles. He volunteers with Linda Han Vietnamese Youth Organization, which raises funds for impoverished areas in Vietnam. Daniel Reina. Who helps teachers with day-to-day tasks along with monitoring children. He believes that giving back to the community should be a top priority for every citizen. Jenny Tran. Memorial Herman Southeast, Jenny has gained hands-on experience in the medical field. She also volunteered at a nursing home where she recalls helping a patient who fell on the floor. This taught her how to remain calm in high-pressure situations and how to be a leader. Please join me in a round of applause for these students and welcome Angie Watkins from Sam Rayburn to the stage.
Good evening. The Sam Rayburn High School Vanguard recipients are Sarah De La Garza. Each summer they volunteer with Bronze Eagles to help an event and make bags for kids to enjoy. Community service is universal for Sarah, as she's also traveled with her church to Italy for a cleanup.
You get that car over there again. Right now, Fred.
I call to order the meeting of the Pasadena Independent School District Board of Trustees in regular session on Tuesday, March 28th, in the boardroom of the Administration Building, 1515 Cherry Brook, Pasadena, Texas, at 5:35 p.m. Board members present are Mr. Fred Roberts, Mr. Kenny Fernandez, Mrs. Vicki Morgan, Mr. Jack Bailey, Mr. Marshall Kendrick, and myself, Nelda Sullivan. Board members absent, Mrs. Mira Selkiana, she's out of town on business. Let the records reflect that a quorum of the board is present, that this meeting is duly called, and that notice of this meeting was posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Our invocation will be led by Mr. Marshall Kendrick, and Mr. Fred Roberts will lead us in the pledges. Would you please stand?
Father, come to you today, thankful for life and for your overwhelming faithfulness. We thank you for this district, and we thank you especially for all of our people, because they work every day diligently to service the needs of our kids, which are very, very many. We thank you for our community that supports our school district, help our kids go out and be very productive citizens. Father, we just pray that you'll be with us today as we go over your business, and we make good decisions for the good discernment. We pray for safety for our campuses and our kids and our employees. And we pray for those who stand in the front line for us, whether it be at home or abroad. We pray that your protection will be over them, and you'll be with their families, and give them courage and strength. We thank you for all these things in your precious name. Amen.
Thanks. Flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
The Personnel Committee will meet in room L101. We have no policy issues to discuss today, so we will not have any policy committee. The first order of business will adjournment to closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074 for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer, employee, or to hear complaints or charges against a public officer or employee. To consult number 551.071, to consult with the district's attorneys concerning matters on which the attorney's duty to the district under the Code of Professional Responsibility clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meeting Act. When the district seeks the advice of its attorney about pending or contemplated litigation or a settlement offer. Rescission of non-proposed non-renewal of Sarah Sanford's contract, Section 551.072, for the purpose of discussing the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. The board will reconvene in open session at 7 p.m.
Arlene Hernandez. St. Juan Diego Catholic Church, where she volunteers on Sundays as a teaching assistant. She admits that she initially volunteered for the recognition, but she since learned that community service is about helping people and improving a community. Ashley Salinas. Gandhi. Ashley participates in various community service efforts, including walking dogs at an animal shelter, tutoring young kids, and through POSA, where she served as a historian junior year. Her most memorable experience was saving a dog who was choking on a bone. Miriam Sleva. Miriam volunteers at her church. She's been working to help restore the playground where her Girl Scout group used to meet. She also created mentorship programs for the PISD GT summer camp to prepare older campers for high school. Dominique Velasquez. This Star Service volunteers with her youth church group, Super Iglesia Infantil, where she serves as a leader and teacher to teenagers. She's also volunteered at the Salvation Army, Houston Food Bank, and various food drives. Please join me in a round of applause for these students and welcome
Jose Portillo Echeverria. Senior citizens at the Iglesia San Francisco de Asís nursing home. Jose was inspired by his mother to volunteer and takes pride in knowing that he has made his family proud. Itzel Hernandez. Itzel volunteers at a back-to-school fiesta where she helps to donate backpacks loaded with school supplies for children in need. She said she enjoys volunteering because it not only puts a smile on her face, but on the faces of children she has impacted. Cariana Hernandez. Cariana suffered from a knee injury 2 years ago, and a donor helped her recover. Inspired by this act of kindness, she decided she should give back to others and spends time volunteering at South Houston Library. Destiny Limon. Today, it is her destiny to put a smile on the faces of children. As a volunteer at the Cleveland Ripley Neighborhood Center, Destiny helped create a fun environment for students. She also volunteers as a member of TAFE and hosts a Ready, Set, Teach program at South Houston and Freeman Elementary Schools. Trejo. As the president of South Houston's Key Club, vice president of the National Honor Society, and president of the Hispanic Honor Society, Cindy takes on leadership opportunities that help keep the community looking clean and healthy. We want to thank all of these students for their contributions and congratulate our 2017 Vanguards for your contributions to your schools and community. We appreciate all your hard work. Thank you.
We have the parents of these wonderful students. Please stand so we can recognize the parents. Your parents. a special treat for you right down the hall. If you want to join, you're welcome to stay, but they have some refreshments and pictures and things they want to take as well. So if you'd like to join, we surely understand. Thank you for having such wonderful children. We go from celebrating some wonderful students, and now we're going to celebrate some wonderful employees.
Maybe after you have your refreshments, you'd like to come back.
Board members, we're going to go ahead and start again with our next award and recognition. This is one we're extremely proud of. This is the first year that our purchasing department submitted for the TASBO Award of Merit for Purchasing Operations. The Texas Association of School Business Officials, or TASBO as known, created the award in 2009 to recognize those school districts, open enrollment charter schools, and regional educational service centers in the state that achieve excellence in purchasing operations. Derek Gillard, our Director of Purchasing, and Laurie Pruitt, our Assistant Director of Purchasing, oversee the daily functions of purchasing and ensure PISD purchases are made legally and ethically and follow all federal, state, and local laws. TASBO's Award of Merit for Purchasing Operations was presented to Pasadena ISD, and if you'll look at the screens, I think you'll get to see a picture of that, at a private ceremony during the annual TASBO conference in Austin on February 28, 2017. There we go. There's a picture of our team, and Derek's holding the plaque there. The award was given to only 26 school districts out of the 1,028 in the entire state of Texas. We plan to submit this award every year in the hopes of starting a very long tradition, so no hard feet there, but we'll get it again next year, right, Derek? So again, we'd like to recognize the purchasing staff if they would stand so we can celebrate them tonight. All the purchasing staff would stand. We want to congratulate all of you for your hard work and everything you do for us. You're outstanding. So thank you so much. Mr. McCarley, do you want a picture of them with the plaque? Because we have the plaque up here. Okay, so if Mr. Gillard would come up and get the plaque, we'll get a picture out front in just a minute. But we appreciate y'all so very much. We have one other recognition tonight, and it's very important. Each year, Pasadena ISD recognizes two principals, Elementary Principal of the Year and Secondary Principal of the Year. This year's winners are Mrs. Norma Penny from Carter Lomax Middle School and Mr. Steve Fleming of Lewis Career and Technical High School. Let me just read a few words about them. Mrs. Penny has served the students in Pasadena ISD for over 20 years, serving first as a teacher, then a counselor at Miller Intermediate. In 2003, she took the position as an assistant principal at Thompson Intermediate before ultimately taking her current role as principal of Carter Lomax Middle School in 2007. It's hard to believe it's been that long, huh? Under her leadership, the school was one of the first in the district to pilot the Blended Learning Connect program. As well, Lomax has excelled in academics and extracurricular programs and has built an outstanding relationship with students, parents, and community. So please join me in recognizing Mrs. Norma Penny, Elementary, Pasadena ISD, Principal of the Year. We have a secondary principal of the year we also want to recognize, so I'm going to keep Ms. Penny up here, but Mr. Fleming, Mr. Steve Fleming has been making an impact on the students of Pasadena ISD since 1989. He began his career as a science teacher at Pasadena High School, where he also graduated. He took over then an administrative role as instructional specialist over science in the district in the year 2000. Mr. Fleming then changed his role again when he became an assistant principal at Pasadena Memorial High School from 2003 to 2011. It was that year that he took on his current position, becoming the first principal of Pasadena ISD's Career and Technical High School, as we know it, the Dr. Kirk Lewis Career and Technical High School on the Beltway. Under his leadership, this campus has become a model for others across Texas who want to add such a program. And under his leadership, he has hosted thousands, where is Mr. Fleming? Upon thousands of visitors each year to his beautiful campus and his amazing programs, and we have a lot to be proud of. So if you'll come forward and let us recognize you as the secondary principal of the year. So you know, in addition to our recognition, Mrs. Penny and Mr. Fleming will be recognized at the 2016-2017 Region 4 recognition ceremony, which is next week, I believe, at the Hotel Zaza. So they'll have a dinner there where they'll be recognized as well. Can we have family members of Mrs. Penny and Mr. Fleming please stand up, because you give these people to us hours and hours. That's all we have for special recognition, but those were very special, all of them.
Very special. We'll move right along with our agenda. Item number 4 is public comments, and we have none this evening. Next item is the consent agenda.
Madam President, I move we approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion passed. The next item is personnel section. Consideration and possible approval of administrative personnel.
Madam President, I move that we approve addenda pages A through D.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan and seconded by Mr. Fernandez. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Hearing none, motion carries. Ms. Morgan, would you please read those individual names?
It would be my honor. We're welcoming several people to our district, and I'll recognize those as we go through. Rebecca Alvarado. Is Rebecca here? Hi, Rebecca. Stand up. Hi. Rebecca's been named Educational Diagnostician for the 2017-18 school year. We got you.
Yes.
And we welcome you to Pasadena ISD and hope you'll have a great hometown.
Thank you.
Do you have family or friends?
I brought my daughter. Hi. She's a teacher as well at a not to be named district. She's a first grade teacher. But my husband and son couldn't make it, so.
Berenice Sevilla. Is Berenice here? That's a beautiful name.
And she had a baby yesterday, so
Oh.
we didn't expect her to be. I would have been amazed.
Berenice has been named Educational Diagnostician again for the 2017-18 school year. Is William Freya? Yes. Freya, is that right?
Freya.
Yeah, that's right. William has been named educational diagnostician for the 2017-18 school year. And he's another one that we welcome to our district, and we hope you'll stay forever.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Prorate, did you bring family and friends with you?
Yes, I did. My parents, and my brother, father, and my nephew.
Ruth Malia Linares, is that correct?
I'm here. Ruth Mejia Linares.
Ruth has been named educational diagnostician again for the 2017-18 school year, and she's another new person to come to our district, and we wish you well.
Thank you.
Did you bring family with you?
Yes, my niece, another teacher, educator from unnamed district. Thank you.
We have another newcomer to the district, Victoria Cavasso Siller. Seer?
Sia.
Sia?
Sia, but it's fine.
And Victoria has been named licensed school specialist in school psychology. And that's for the 2017-18 school year. And we welcome you to Pasadena as well. Did you bring family and friends with you?
I did not.
Well, we're all now your family.
Thank you.
And I think I might have an insight into the next person. It's Neil Brownlee. Neil, congratulations. Neil has been named Assistant Principal, Dobie High School, for the remainder of the 2016-17 school year. And Neil, we congratulate you in your new position, and I know you have family with you. Would you like
I
to-
do. I have my wife Carrie. I've got my 3 beautiful children. I have a father-in-law, Larry Wilson. There's my principal, current principal, Mr. Josh Beams, Jennifer and James Morton, my good friends, Mr. Van Essen, Mr. Moses. I think all these people from Roberts are here for me.
And we're excited.
Have you seen Mega Lunch yet?
I know of it.
That's not quite burnt orange, but we'll get you there.
I'm actually a Longhorn again. I graduated from UT.
Good.
I'm going to tell you, not too terribly long ago, you were in my prayers for when you were having some difficulties. So it's very good to be able to see you up and about and doing well. So thank you.
Too, Neil, congratulations on the step up and the responsibilities. Know you do a wonderful job.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I have one more. Did you have something?
I do. The judge is his wife, and I had the privilege of being subpoenaed and spending a day in court with her.
May need more information about that.
I was a witness. But it was good to spend the day with a good judge.
No, that's all right. Lastly, we have Adriana Robinson. Is Adriana, there she is. Hi, Adriana. She has been named assistant principal at Dobie High School as well. And for the remainder of the 2016-17 school year. And we look forward to your new position. You have family with you, I see?
I have my husband Corey, my son Rex, my daughter Lainey, and my noisy little one back there now, with my mom and my sister down here. I also have my aunt and my cousin with us. My cousins are all spread out. So. My BHI family, including my principal Alita, and my Fred Roberts family, including my wonderful principal Lee Thomas, and all of my team, my administrative team that I've been a part of that I love so much. Deronda, Jennifer, Gracie, Christine, and Rebecca. I can't let Neil show me up over here. And I'm so excited to be a part of my new W family as well. Mr. Moses and Mr. Van Essen, Tony to my kids. I'm so excited to be part of it.
Congratulations. And that concludes our agenda pages.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Sullivan, can I ask a question? Shirley, did you receive any money for any exchange for Aviana? I mean, she's got a lot of value. Has Moses given you some money? Huh?
I'm gonna get it right here.
For those of you that need to leave at this time, this is the end of our personnel section for the new positions. We are excused. If you'd like to stay, we would love to have you.
Retiring from Beverly Hills Intermediate CE, 44 years, 33 with PISD. Nicole Barnes, W High School French, 20 years, 16 with PISD. Jacqueline Pitts, W High Spanish, 43 years, 38 with PISD. Rose Huckabee, Keller Middle, Science, I can see it. 24 years, 17 with PISD. Maria Elena Benavides, Cruz Elementary, bilingual second, 20 years, 19 with PISD. Grant Marion, Parkview Intermediate Social Studies, 28 years in education, all with PISD. Katie Lavati, Parkview Intermediate LRS, 29 years in education, 25 with PISD. Charlotte Lamb, Shaw Middle, bilingual 6th grade, 19 years in education, 8 with PISD. Rosario Vasquez, Shaw Middle, English Language Arts, 25 years in education, 3 with PISD. Freddie Perkins, South Houston High, Art, 30 years in education, all with PISD. Arnita Welchel, South Shaver Elementary Assistant Principal, 27 years in education, all in PISD. And Raquel Reams, Teague Elementary, bilingual 1st grade, 33 years in education, all with PISD. These people have given their hearts and souls, and I know that we're all grateful to them, and we wish them well in their retirement. So let's give them a round.
And moving right along, our next agenda item is consideration and possible approval of the reorganization of the Special Education Department for the remainder of the 2016-17 school year.
I move that we approve the reorganization of the Special Ed Department for the remainder of this year.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Kendrick. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion passes. Item 3, consideration and possible approval of the adoption of term contracts for credentialed professionals and administrators.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Bailey. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Hearing none, the motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of probationary contracts for credentialed professionals and administrators.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Bailey. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of increase in pay for substitute telecommunicators from $11 an hour to $15.25 an hour.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Kendrick. there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion passes. Consideration and possible approval of revised lead nurse stipend for 2016-17 school year.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan. Seconded by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion's passed. Next item, consideration and possible approval of the rescission of proposed non-renewal of Sarah Sanford's term contract.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion's passed. The item number 8, certified personnel, is just for information only. And we move right along to the educational section. Consideration and possible approval of the 2017-18 student code of conduct.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Hendrick. Is there any discussion?
There's just one comment. I was surprised to see that when they talk about the game paraphernalia, the Astros hat, star, recognized games.
Unfortunately, a lot of the professional athletic teams, they've taken to adopt those as symbols.
Some of them have been that way for a long time.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know the Astros.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And we gave you a highlighted copy of the changes when we put it in the book and copied it. It didn't stand out as much, so you have a highlighted copy of the extra spot as well.
Any other discussion or statements regarding the code of conduct? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion's passed. Item number 2, consideration and possible approval of authorization to enter into interlocal contracts with Texas Women's University for internship and externship students.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Bailey. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion passed. Item number 3, consideration and possible approval of the increased agreement between Shiloh Treatment Center and Pasadena Independent School District.
Also moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Hendrick. Is there any discussion?
Just so you know, we may not need this additional seat. This is for a student needing one-on-one services. We have 2 seats available, but because of the specialized needs, and Debbie, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the specialized needs of this student, you're still negotiating, but we wanted to make sure we had this in place, correct? Okay. So we do have seats available, but we have special needs related to this job.
Okay, so we may need, it may be necessary to have an extra seat, is that what you're saying?
It may be necessary, you want to come up to the mic and explain, it's a severe one, and I think they're going to need one-on-one care.
This is a student that came in from out of district, and so this child doesn't just need the seat, he needs additional services. And so the money is for additional services for this child.
Oh, it's for additional services, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion is passed. Item number 4, consideration and possible approval of primary request submitters for the Texas Education Agency Secure Environment, TEASE, and the alternate approver authority for TEA login, TEAL.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Bailey. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion passed. Item number 5, consideration and possible approval of the instructional materials allotment antiques certification 2017-2018.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Fernandez. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion is passed. Consideration and possible approval of an award to Solution Tree for live streaming of professional development workshop, CSP number 17-030.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan and seconded by Mr. Fernandez. Is there any discussion?
The travel, the hotel cost, of course, the meals that would be spent. It's substantial. Do we have a comparison to what we would spend if we tried to? This is, so far registered, we have 816 individuals registered, but we expect to have closer to 900 by the time we hold these events. So what would that run if we tried to take 900
The
individuals?
registration difference is
Go ahead last year. It's going to be last year's registration, not just those 170.
Yeah, because it's about
But
like
it's
$500
less than
registration.
half of the cost to go to San Antonio just for registration. So we paid almost $700 for registration per person, plus travel and hotel. For this, it's $255.
This is going to help us saturate a little bit further than just our administrators. They can take teacher teams since it's being held here in the school district. So we're really excited about that increased opportunity. Yes.
We did a trial run in January where we had about 5,000 teachers attend. We had a 98% approval rating from those who went, and they weren't necessarily willing participants. Their school signed them up this time, and it wasn't a choice. So to have 98% say that this was really advantageous to them, and when you read the comments, they're pretty remarkable. So you had 2% who would have preferred not to be there, and 98% who said this was amazing.
That is amazing.
It was for the same group, the Solution Tree?
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Thank y'all.
Any other questions or discussions regarding this? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion's passed. Item number 7, consideration and possible approval for the Sam Rayburn Texans Pasadena Memorial Sidekicks and Pasadena Memorial Choir students to travel to and perform in New York City, November the 16th through November the 20th, 2017.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan and seconded by Mr. Kendrick. Is there any discussion?
They didn't say anything about them coming home, or they just.
We're just gonna stay.
We're gonna stay.
Oh, that's an awesome opportunity. I know my girls, when they were Texans, both of them went to New York City, and it is absolutely an awesome opportunity for those kids, so I'm excited. Thank you.
And the school event makes it possible for so many that would never get to go otherwise. So, is there any discussion regarding this? All in favor of the trip as discussed, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion's passed. Item number 8, consideration and possible approval for 2 art students from Sam Rayburn High School to travel to New York City, New York, June the 7th through the 10th, 2017, for the National Scholastic Art and Writing Competition, awards and workshops held at Carnegie Hall, Pratt Institute, and the Parsons Institute. Motion by Mrs. Morgan and seconded by Mr. Fernandez.
Again, we need to send all these kids back home.
Is there any discussion regarding this trip? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion is passed. The next item is for student achievements. We have multiple student achievements in our district every day in every field of endeavor. And sometimes I think that maybe we don't recognize it, but let me tell you, it's there and it's wonderful. We don't have any policy update for tonight. The financial section is consideration and possible approval of budget amendments.
I move we approve the budget amendments.
Motion made by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Kendrick. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. And under financial
Can I ask
section,
one question about, I guess the local revenue, the 98,626, that's the pre-K tuition? Is that correct?
Tell us what page.
what page you're on, Jack?
On the, yeah, 206. Voted on.
Oh.
That's the budget amendment, right? Isn't that correct?
Nina, are you
No, I'm
coming
just
forward?
curious.
Okay. What happened? My goodness, I haven't seen you since you got that little addition. It's dangerous in the budget office.
Yes, sir, we have pre-K kids at CTHS, they pay tuition, and they put it in a revenue account, and then about this time of the year, we take it and recognize that revenue and give it to CTHS to pay for additional supplies and things for those students.
But the $98,000, is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I was slow.
Sure. Okay. Any other questions regarding that? And we had already voted on that. Moving right along to item number 2. Consideration and possible approval of interlocal contract with Dallas County Cooperative.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan and second by Mr. Bailey. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passed. Item number 3, consideration and possible approval of resale of foreclosed properties for delinquent taxes.
So moved. I'm sorry.
0 Allendale Road, account number 075-212-00-0205.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Fernandez. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion's passed. Item number 4, consideration and possible approval of resolution regarding the sale of surplus real property, bid number 17-031, located at 4422 Spencer at Tulip, South Houston Gardens, Section 5, Harris County, Texas.
I'm going to be a little redundant, but I need to read this. We recommend the board resolution regarding the sale of surplus real property, bid number 17-031, located at 4422 Spencer at Tulip, South Houston Gardens, Section 5, Harris County, Texas.
Any motion for that?
That is a motion.
Okay.
Second.
Marshall, second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion's passed. In the operations section, item number 1 has been pulled. Item number 2, consideration and possible approval of the final electrical easements for the early college annex at Pasadena Memorial High School project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, seconded by Mr. Fernandez. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion is passed. Item number 3, consideration and possible approval of the allowance expenditure authorization, AEA, number 005, for the early college annex at Pasadena Memorial High School project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan, second by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Hearing none, the motion passes. Item number 4, consideration and possible approval for page 224, 2014 bond contingency pool funding for furniture, fixtures, and equipment, FF&E, for the early college annex at Pasadena Memorial High School project.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Fernandez. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion is passed. Item number 5, consideration and possible approval of the allowance expenditure authorization, AEA, number 008, for the New Dobie High School 9th grade campus project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morgan and seconded by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion is passed. Construction updates. Is there any questions or comments from the handout that you were given?
Kevin, other than delays, how's everything going? Rain
Very well. Early colleges, we have interior finishes going in right now.
Thank you.
Anything else? Under the miscellaneous section, we have no communications. Public comments were addressed earlier in the meeting. We'll set the date for the next regular meeting. Is suggested Tuesday, April the 25th, 2017.
I may be in Cibolo, but I mean, that doesn't keep you from having a board meeting.
Do you have a motion?
I move that we approve
Second.
Tuesday, April 25th.
Motion by Ms. Morgan, second by Mr. Roberts.
Ms. Sullivan, one thing I want, well, I'll wait a second on that.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion is passed. Yes, Mr. Roberts.
This month was, sports medicine month, for this area. And I appreciate if the superintendent would tell the people that we appreciate what they're doing. We know they're out there, and we know how important their job is. They make a difference in our kids' lives and their families and so on and so forth, and we really appreciate it. So if you would, please send our thank you.
We will, absolutely, and I believe they brought, from Dobie's Sports Medicine, they brought some shirts tonight. I know other schools have shared information about their programs with you as well, so they do an outstanding job.
It'd be interesting to see how many of the kids go through the 2-year program. I think, is it a 2-year program, sports medicine program, 2 years, or 2 semesters, or?
I believe so, but I'll get you that information so that you can have numbers break down by each campus and
Yeah,
how many
that'd be
staff
interesting.
members we have related to those
Yeah.
programs.
Is there any other business to come before this board? I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
It is 5 minutes after 8.